Hi guys, welcome to a new video. In this video we are talking about one of the historical anime, the anime Attack on Titan. I'll tell you the whole story from season 1 to 4 in several videos. So if you've watched the anime and don't remember the events well, this video will remind you of them all. And if you haven't watched it, I'm going to tell you the whole story in a quick, nice way. Before we start, I hope you like this video and subscribe if you are new, and send this video to all your friends so they can benefit. The first scene of the anime shows the main character of the anime. Eren Yeager, at the age of 10, lying in a corner of his city called Ganshina, is the first city in the walls. Then we will present more information about the city and the walls. These walls are the boundaries of the city of humanity and were built to protect humans from outside Titans. Each wall is about 50 meters high. At the beginning of the anime, we learn that only the people inside the walls remain human. The others were eaten by Titans. These walls were built for about 100 years. We meet another anime character named Mikasa, whose family members have all died and is being raised by Eren's family. After that, En and Mikasa go to meet some soldiers who are not doing their jobs and are not serious because the giants have never been able to get inside the walls. The only group that was serious was the military. They were the only group in the army to go beyond the walls to fight Titans. Whenever they went out, when they came back, many soldiers were killed and many wounded. People did not want their children to join the army because they thought it was useless for soldiers to fight giants. There were three types of armies in the anime. The king's guards, whose only job was to protect the king. The police in the city, whose job was to protect the guards and the people inside. And the soldiers, whose job it was to fight the Titans. Then we see that the army returned from the battle led by Erwin spies, 80% of whom were dead and wounded. People were very sad to see this scene, except for one person who smiled among them all, and that person was Eren. Eren saw the army as heroes. He wanted to become a soldier one day to see beyond the walls. Mikasa knew about it and told Eren's mother. Eren's mother was very angry with Eren and warned him not to join the army. But Eren's father, Gincha, says if En wants to do something, it's impossible not to do it. He also shows Eren the key and tells her that if he returns from his trip, he will show her the basement, which is full of secrets. After that, we're introduced to another character in the anime, Armin, a close friend of En and Mikasa. He shares a dream with Eren about seeing the sea. Inspired by stories and curiosity, Armin expresses his deep desire to witness it for himself. The three friends then make a promise. One day, they will leave the walls and see the sea together. After hundreds of years of peace, something unimaginable occurred. A colossal titan appeared and shattered the first wall, allowing the other titans to invade the city. After that, the peace of the city was shattered and the titans began killing and devouring people. Following this, we witness one of the most heartbreaking scenes in the anime, the death of Eren's mother, who is eaten by a titan right before his eyes. As a result of this incident, Shiganshina is destroyed and the people flee toward the central wall. But something strange happens. Another giant appears, one that doesn't eat people. Instead, it charges straight toward the central wall and breaks through it. At this point, both the Shiganshina have been breached. Afterward, Mikasa and Armin rush to Eren to get him to safety. But Eren stands frozen in place, his eyes filled with tears and rage. Through clenched teeth, he cries out, "I'll kill them all!" referring to every last titan. From that moment on, Eren's dream of exploring the world beyond the walls and seeing the sea shifts into a burning desire for revenge, to destroy all the titans. As Eren walks toward Wall Maria's gate, he suddenly has a strange dream. His father is giving him an injection. Eren is crying, and his father is saying something to him, but the words are unclear and can't be understood. Now a few years later, during this period, En, Mikasa, and Armin begin their military training. They must undergo 3 years of intense preparation in order to become full-fledged soldiers and join one of the military divisions. They should learn the methods of killing and the weak points of the enemies, which include striking the back of their necks and cutting the artery under their arms. After that, they all must learn how to use flying devices and how to balance themselves on them and not fall off. The first person who was able to learn how to use it was Mikasa. Others followed later, but Ein was progressing very slowly and still hadn't mastered it. He was still training. At this point, we are introduced to two other characters from the anime named Reiner and Bertolt. After talking for a while, En reveals what's been troubling, that the Titans had attacked Reiner and Bertolt's hometown. After that, they become friends. Zan asks Reiner what his dream is. Reiner replies that his dream is to return to his homeland, but where is his homeland? No one knows. Then Reiner asks Eren about his dream. Eren says that his dream is to kill all the Titans. This is Eren's final test, and he stands before everyone. If he fails, he will be dismissed. At first, he manages to balance himself using the equipment, but then he falls. Later, they inspect his gear and discover that the problem was with the equipment from the beginning, not Eren himself. In the end, Eren passes the test successfully. Now we go 3 years in time. They've all become soldiers and are waiting to be assigned to their respective squads. An, Mikasa, and Armin are sitting together, talking about their childhood. After that, a group of soldiers goes up to the top of Wall Maria, bringing cannons and weapons, and they repair the wall. At that moment, it reflects on how far humanity has come and how now they can easily fight back against the Titans. While Anne is lost in thought, the colossal Titan suddenly reappears and breaks through the wall once again, destroying all the cannons and weapons. This is when we realize that some Titans act deliberately and intelligently, unlike the others, and seem capable of making strategic decisions. Arn attacks the Titan with great energy, but suddenly the Titan vanishes. The second wall, known as the Wall of Ross, has now been destroyed. Only the first wall remains, and the future of humanity depends on it. The army's goal is to rebuild the second wall, because if the first wall falls, humanity will not survive. Arn fights fiercely to unleash his power and to restore the second and third walls. However, over time, he begins to lose focus due to the loss of his friends one by one. They are killed by the Titans. Later, in a shocking turn of events, a Titan bites off both of Aaron's legs, and he falls. At that moment, Armin is in a state of shock, and a Titan approaches to grab and devour him. But Anne saves Armin, and in doing so, he is swallowed by the Titan himself. Anne, the main character of the anime, was the one we all expected to wipe out all the Titans. But now, he himself has been devoured by one. After that, Mikasa and Armin reunite, and Mikasa immediately asks where Anne is. Armin recalls the events and explains them to her. Mikasa, holding back her emotions, tries to calm Armin down, reminding him that they're still in the middle of a battlefield. Mikasa then begins fighting the Titans, but suddenly, her gear malfunctions and she falls. A Titan approaches her, and in that moment, she begins to question herself, why is she still fighting? Why does she even want to live when Eren is gone? But deep inside, Mikasa regains her determination and continues fighting, even without her gear. At that moment, something strange happens. A Titan suddenly appears, but instead of killing her, it saves her. Then it launches an attack on the other Titans and defeats many of them. Armin witnesses this and is shocked, but he quickly realizes what's happening and rushes to help Mikasa. They come up with a plan to support the Titan and let it fight the others. The Titan succeeds, defeating many of the other Titans, while the soldiers watch in shock, unable to believe what they're seeing. Then, the Titan collapses to the ground, and something truly strange happens, something no one expected. From within the Titan, someone begins to emerge. It is none other than the main character of the anime Eren. Everyone was stunned when they discovered that the giant who had been fighting and killing the other giants was actually Eren. But instead of showing gratitude, the soldiers turned on her, surrounding her with weapons drawn and eyes filled with fear. They couldn't tell if Eren was still human or something else entirely. To them, he was just another threat. After all this, the soldiers fire a ball at Ayan, but Ayan turns into a giant again and returns the ball. Armin wants to explain the matter and reaffirms his military status and says that he will always support the army and humanity. Then one of the legendary characters of the anime, President Pixis, comes in. Pixis plans to block the hole in the wall with a large stone to prevent the giants from entering and kill all the giants inside and take over the wall again. And everyone asked who's do it? He said Eren. Then they stopped fighting and began to implement the Pixis plan. At first things went very well until In became a giant. And when he became a giant, he forgot everything and attacked Mikasa. But Armin cleverly approached him and talked about their past. Then Eren remembers everything and holds the hole in the wall. Among the lifeless bodies lay Marco, a fallen soldier. But something was wrong. His body showed no signs of a struggle, and most disturbingly, he had no weapons on him. Whispers of confusion and unease spread through the ranks. Why would a trained soldier like Marco be unarmed in the middle of a battle? As the troops tried to make sense of the mystery, they also managed to capture 2 smaller giants alive. The decision was made to hold them for experimentation, hoping to uncover the truth behind the giants and gain the knowledge they so desperately needed. Later, when Arn regains consciousness, she finds herself in a prison cell. Across from her stand 2 legendary and central figures, Erwin and Levi. Erwin holds the key to the basement of Eren's home and begins questioning her about the key, him transformation, and him true purpose. He speaks with a calm but sharp tone, probing for the truth. What shocks Eren most is their final revelation. Both the giant he became and the big titan they fought, they're both human. Things grow even more complicated when Anne is brought before a military court to decide his fate, life or death. The room is divided. Some argue that Anne should be kept alive and used as a weapon against the titans. Others demand his immediate execution, fearing what he might become. Tension fills the air until Captain Levi steps forward. Without warning, he violently beats Eren to the ground in front of everyone. This, Levi says coldly, is proof that I can put him down whenever I need to. If he steps out of line, I'll end him myself. His brutal display isn't just violence, it's strategy. A way to convince the court that Eren can be controlled. An is now assigned to Captain Levi's team. Meanwhile, we return to the Titans that were being experimented on. It's now been discovered that the Titans become inactive at night. And unlike humans, they don't require food to survive. But then, something unexpected happens. Both Titans are found dead. It quickly becomes clear that this wasn't an accident. Someone deliberately killed them. Which means one thing, there's a traitor among them. Someone who doesn't want the experiments to continue, someone who wants to keep the truth about the Titans hidden. After that, we're introduced to a new character named Annie. She speaks with Ern and expresses a quiet hope she wants to join the military police, not the scouts, because she doesn't want to see the outside world. Soon after, 21 of Erin's comrades have their names officially from the military roster. A month later, the military launches an expedition beyond Wall Rose and re-enters Wall Maria. The soldiers are divided into several teams for the operation. But we learn something crucial: their true mission isn't to repair Wall Maria, it's to hunt down and eliminate the Titans. At first, everything seems to be going well. But soon, a strange Titan appears, one unlike the others. It begins killing soldiers at an alarming speed. Armin leads one of the teams, but most of his comrades are slaughtered in the chaos. Eventually, Armin is left face to face with death. Yet, the Titan doesn't kill him. Instead, it stares at him curiously, then walks away. This moment becomes a major failure in the eyes of the enemy. The Titan was supposed to wipe out everyone. Soon after, Reiner arrives and tries to kill the female Titan, but he fails. Armin quickly pulls him back and helps him escape. The female Titan begins chasing them, unaware that she's walking straight into a trap. What she doesn't know is that Aen and Reiner are heading toward Levi's squad, the most powerful team in the scouts. The Titan is lured deep into the forest, and Levi's team moves according to a precise plan. As the Titan gets closer, Yoren struggles with a critical decision: whether to transform into a Titan or trust in Captain. Levi's command. Levi firmly tells him not to act on his own, that their mission depends on discipline and teamwork, not impulse. The female Titan nearly catches Eren, but just then, Erwin makes his move. He appears out of nowhere, springing the trap. Fully prepared for this exact moment, and Captain Leve's plan succeeds and they lock up the female giant. Captain Leve and his team aim to uncover the true identity of the female Titan, but just as they get close, she uses a special technique, hardening her body in crystal, making it impossible to cut through. Then, she lets out a piercing scream, a signal. It's another technique, one that draws every nearby Titan toward her position, summoning them for help. Because of this, she manages to away from Captain Levi's grasp. Overwhelmed by the sheer number of incoming Titans, the soldiers are forced to retreat. The mission begins to collapse under the pressure. Erwin begins to suspect something unusual. The female Titan is moving too precisely, too intelligently. He realizes she might be one of the soldiers in disguise, especially when he notices she's using ODM gear. Suddenly, the female Titan appears again and brutally kills several more of Eren's comrades. Arn, overwhelmed with rage and grief, loses control and transforms into a Titan. A fierce hand-to-hand battle erupts between Anne and the female Titan. Despite Eren's power, she proves to be stronger. She tears through his Titan form and instead of killing him, tries to carry him away, choosing capture over death. But just in time, Captain Levy and Mikasa arrive. In a swift and coordinated attack, they rescue Eren, forcing the female Titan to retreat once again. After the battle, both sides are forced to retreat. The damage is severe. This fight was far more brutal than any before it, and the number of casualties is devastating, marking it as one of humanity's greatest losses yet. But even in the midst of defeat, crucial discoveries were made. The fact that a human can transform into a Titan, and the undeniable presence of traitors hidden among the ranks of humanity. These revelations, despite the heavy loss, are viewed as a strange kind of victory because they provide knowledge that could turn the tide of the war in the future. The next day, a new order is issued, and Arn is once again summoned to court. Armin turns to Annie for help, hoping she can assist in saving Eren from the trial. Strangely, Annie hesitates but agrees though. During the mission, she drops one of her military signal devices and says, "I'm ready." As they walk, the group reaches a tunnel entrance. Annie suddenly stops. Her behavior shifts. Suspicious and uneasy, she refuses to go any further. She turns to Armin and asks coldly, "What did you do with Marco's gear?" Referring to the soldier who had died under mysterious circumstances. Armin tries to push forward, insisting Annie follow. But she refuses, and in that moment she transforms into a Titan right before their eyes. This is the turning point, the moment everything ignites. They finally manage to confirm the true identity of the female Titan. Fueled by rage, Arn transforms into a Titan once again, and a fierce battle erupts in the middle of the city. This time, however, Anne is losing. Annie overpowers him during the fight, forcing him to retreat. She gives him no choice but to confront her with everything he has. Driven by sheer determination, Anne rises again and blocks her escape. Realizing she's cornered, Annie uses her crystallization ability to try climbing the city walls and escape. But Mikasa cuts her off just in time, forcing her back to the ground. Anne seizes the chance, grabs her, and restrains her completely. In desperation, Annie attempts one final move to crystallize herself and Eren together. But at the last moment, Captain Levi intervenes and rescues Eren. Annie, now unconscious, seals herself in an impenetrable crystal. No one is able to break through it, and her secrets remain locked inside. The next day, Eren wakes up to find himself in a secure location. As he regains his strength, he begins speaking with his friends, and together they question whether humanity truly has a chance of winning this war. New and shocking secrets have just been uncovered. Later, Commander Erwin meets with the ruling authorities to make a final decision regarding Eren's fate. But instead of simply defending Eren, Erwin makes a bold statement. For the first time, humanity is finally taking a major step forward, and it's all because of Anne. He emphasizes how crucial it is to uncover the truth behind the identity of the female Titan, and also mentions the armored Titan, raising suspicion that both could be traitors hiding among them. In the end, the court decides Eren should live and be used as a weapon to fight for humanity. But just as the season comes to a close, a shocking revelation shakes everything. A Titan is discovered not outside the walls, but inside them. The walls themselves are made of Titans. And just like that, the first season of the anime comes to an end. These were all the major events of season 1, summarized quickly and clearly. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Until the next video, stay safe.